explained to him why I was doing it. Took him out on the field for literally just about 45 minutes. We did double amount of walkthrough. I said, hey, if you guys can take care of us on Saturday, I'll take care of you this week. So we really backed off him physically on Tuesday. Wednesday tapered it down a little bit. I knew they were antsy to get out there and play. Thursday was a really good work day, and today you saw the result of it. Today didn't happen because of this week. It's happened because of the way we've done things since January. Couldn't be more excited, from Tommy to do what he did, and Chase, the offensive line. Offensively, the versatility that Barry's created, the ability to create fourth down conversions, just a lot of confidence in the ball club. Defensively, enough can't be said, right? I know they got in the end zone. That was probably the most impressive stat since I've been a head coach, the way they've defended that area, and just to have three different guys get interceptions, to play the way it was. High point, everybody just sees it as an interception, but those are incredibly talented, well-coached players that make those plays. So I did want to say, I was told Tanner Morgan was taken to the hospital, so I want to say best prayers and thoughts to him. Obviously a really, really good competitor. I was watching film on 2019. He was a quarterback, right? I think he'd been here as long as Palcho. It's just incredible respect for PJ and his crew. Another Big Ten West game, right? That was part of a 3-game stretch, right? So you guys love numbers, right? So we told him kind of a rally cry on Wisconsin week. We hadn't beat them since 2002, and then Iowa was 2008, and then I got a new one for you. So last time we beat Iowa, Wisconsin was 1987, right? Or 89, I can't remember. Last time we beat Minnesota, Iowa, and Wisconsin was 1983. I was 13 when that happened. So we keep chipping away at these numbers, and really excited about where they're at. So with that, open up for questions. Game plan defensively,
yeah.
Obviously the execution.
Ryan and Aaron, we really take a lot of time during the spring and winter of breaking on the ball, reading the quarterback's eyes. There's a play last week, Matt Bailey. When we signed Matt Bailey out of Moline, he played very few snaps at middle post safety. He played a lot of corner, different things, different positions. In that Iowa game, there's a play when their tight end, whatever the tight end, 84, right? He's running at Laporte, yeah. He's running a middle route, and you see Matt Bailey break before the quarterback comes out of his throw. And I stopped it in front of the team on Thursday night, and I said, Matt, where did you learn this? And he said, Coach Walt. And it really made an impression on me. Here's a true freshman, 6 games into it, that did something. He broke up a route of a great player. It could be a first-round draft pick. And that's what you see with Quan, Sid. They defend every pass. I saw a PFF stat the other day where 2 of the best defenders in the country both play for us. It's just, I think, a great indication of really good players that are coached really well. I think Bret told me they had 6 completions. That's an unbelievable stat. Excited for this group. We really need this bye week. This came at a great time. We'll take care of them, do a lot of developmental practice. I'm on the road 4 days this week, recruiting all over the country, Sunday and Monday and Thursday and Friday. So we'll take advantage of this time in several different ways.
Sets you up tiebreaker-wise.
Yeah.
To run at things that this program hasn't done. How did you guys get this during the stretch, and how do you prepare them for what's ahead?
When we beat Wisconsin at Wisconsin, they gave me a game ball inside, right? And at one point, I told the crew that I'm going to give them a game ball. What I didn't tell them is I was going to hold it till after this week, right? Because I wanted to be able to put on that game ball that you beat Wisconsin, Iowa, and Minnesota. I'm going to put it all in one big ball, right, that they can have for the rest of their lives, because they're doing some things that nobody else has ever done. I appreciate the question. I know there's a Big Ten West chase, but our guys don't really talk about that. I put up the Big Ten standings and showed them where both of us were and the other teams that were there or ahead of us. So all we can control is our bye week and then get ready for Nebraska and see where it goes.
Tommy's tough. That's just not only playing today, but several weeks on the ankle.
Yeah, Tommy's an incredibly tough kid. I last Sunday, everybody's concerned about Tommy. I was concerned about Tommy. My wife always texts me and calls me, but every day the first thing she would say, I didn't even get hello to my children. Is Tommy playing? So that's where. So we were waiting for. We were going to go dye the water fountain orange, and Tommy rolls up on Sunday, and he's got a black fleeced robe, a pair of eye shades on, that you wear in the sunlight, right up on his forehead, a pair of slippers on one foot and a boot on the other, and a bag of McD's. And I told him, you look like a guy right out of Breakfast Club, right out of the movie. course, he didn't have any idea what that movie was, right? He walked in and asked JB, he goes, Coach, I look like a guy at a breakfast club. What is that? So I had a feeling he was going to get better in a hurry. He truly did practice a little bit Tuesday, and then he was good to go all the way from Wednesday on. I always tell you guys I don't want to mislead you, but if it can give us an advantage, I definitely, that's why I kind of came out with it today. It was starting to break a little bit, and Tommy's incredibly tough, competitive. O-line does a lot of it. I told him all week, hey, we got to practice. One of Barry Lundy's goals this week, goal number 1 was to protect the ball carrier and the ball, right? So kind of takes a lot of people say protect the ball, but he wanted to protect our ball carriers. And for Chase to get that many touches to come out on the back end, I do believe Josh will be with us when we go to Nebraska. He practiced this week twice, just wasn't quite there. So we want to be really smart with him on the back end here of what he can do.
Is that unusual maybe for coaches to be able to have that week-by-week focus? But what does it take to get this team through 24-year-old?
Yeah. It may sound silly, right? But I believe that focus came in January. I'll lay out the schedule every week and put it in front of them. Like we had 15 spring practices, right? I felt we played good enough to win in 14 of those 15. I made them understand the one that we didn't, right? They'd be able to tell you when that was. We go into our fall camp. We talk about what we're doing. I laid out the schedule on Sunday and Tuesday to what we're going to do this week. I think it's my responsibility. I always tell those guys, hey, you just come up, show up, do your job, and let me take care of the rest. And I think our coaches have a tremendous amount of faith in our guys. So it's a really special group. They're a lot of fun to be around.
How do you feel like when you throwing the ball, Chase with another 100 yards, 8 times in a row, with the bye week coming up, what makes this team so, as far as defensive wise, they're just carrying that?
Yeah, they're hungry. They got good players. Good players that play with a lot of confidence. I think it's really easy to get guys that believe they can do something to do it, and they have no doubt in their minds that they'll be successful. They have a little edge to them, to be honest with you, right? They got a little edge to them. I don't mind jumping on them a little bit because they kind of get sassy back, and it's kind of a little bit of that. I think Ryan and the defensive staff, obviously Ryan gets a lot of credit as he should, but Kevin Kane, Aaron Henry, Andy Boo, Terrence Jamison are defensive quality control guys. There's a lot of people doing their job well.
Chase Brown, 41 carries. Maybe nobody deserves the bye week more than him, but how outstanding has he been through these first 7 games, and how much rest is he obviously going to get?
Yeah, he won't be doing much this week. You guys could hang out with him for all I care. I think it also shows his preparation. I've heard him say this, and he and I. When we got done with that Northwestern game last year, I didn't know we were going to have, maybe a chance at a bowl. I told him after the Northwestern game, I said, hey, just so you know, you were just tackled for the last time until next fall in our opener. Because when you have a back that can play at the level he can play at, backs have a limited lifespan, right? Like every play that they have the ball usually ends in a collision. And one thing I've learned, right, and I see my backs that I've had in the past, James White, Melvin Gordon, Alex Collins, these guys play 8, 9, 10 years in the league. And I think other programs that treat them like meat squad, right? Like they don't take care of them in practice, they don't take care of them in their training, and the byproduct is they have a shorter career. And Chase understands that. He takes incredibly good care of his body. We went to Indianapolis for media day, and I had Chase and Sid with me and Quan. I remember sitting down to dinner. I said, hey, Coach, you don't get to take your players to dinner very much, right? And we were sitting in a hotel Italian restaurant, and Sid looked at Chase, and he's like, should we get a Coke? And I'm like, yeah, I live on the edge, man. I got an iced tea. And it was like, that's kind of sums up them in a moment. Like to have a Coke was a big deal, right? What do you have for breakfast? I had egg whites and chicken sausage, right? Like that's just how they are. They take really good care of their body, which in turn makes a player.
I think you had to talk to last week for Isaiah.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any conversations over the course of the week? And then secondly, when was he cleared to be?
Yeah. So I made sure I grabbed him on Sunday. Those conversations can stay between us, right? Shoot him. He and I text quite a bit sometimes. He's just a really. I had a feeling this was going to happen today, right? Like you don't have a young man like that doesn't respond that way. I think him and Taz both basically had the same condition. Both of them went through the concussion protocol and we were cleared by Thursday, I think it was. So they really didn't get limited much. We backed off Isaiah a little bit more than Taz, but Taz is right back there in the gun of it. D'Arcangelo, and then obviously Tommy. Like, I would tell you this: winning helps people heal, though, too, right? Like, Tommy basically said, "I'm playing in this game" when I saw him on Sunday. So he doesn't get the final say, but we make him think he does. But it's fun to be around those guys because they want to get back out there.
Yards-wise, you were balanced on offense, even though Chase had a lot of carries. Is this the dynamic offense that you envisioned when you hired Coach Monday?
You know, Barry and I, the cool thing is, like, we're 7 games into it now, and I think he feels, I just kept saying all week, man, this is going to be good for us, because really this defensive scheme carried over a lot from the Iowa game, just what they play and technique. So I knew Barry would have a little bit of extra things oiled up. I thought his ability to get the ball on the perimeter, kind of wear him out, get him spaced out, then hit it up inside with some run game, very creative and dynamic on 4th down. The players just respond so well to Barry. I'm not going to let you guys in there, but at practice, like when he does this Friday walk, him and Wald on both ends kind of just run a 30 to 45 minute walkthrough, and it's just both those guys talking, and it's pretty impressive to watch. Not necessarily what they're saying or what they're talking about, but to see the players engaged at a high level is pretty awesome to do.
Coach, when you took over the program a year and a half ago, I know you have goals and aspirations, but do you think that you'd see so much success now?
I thought when we got done with the year last year, like I said it, and I wasn't making it up. I don't think a lot of people wanted to play us at the end of the year last year. Thought we were playing really well. I knew I was going to lose some good players, but the recruiting portal has been great to us. Our development has been great to us. Just a little thing like it may seem like a big bet. We're, I think, perfect on field goals again today, right? And the whole field goal lineup is all basically freshmen and redshirt freshmen, O-lineman, Hunter Weichneck, Geske, a number of guys that are just, that's their role, right? And I knew when I saw Barry in the spring, I saw what he was able to do with our offense. I thought we'd take a big step, and I had a feeling we'd be good on defense. Special teams concerned me a little bit, but we responded pretty well there today. So did I think we'd be 7, or what are we, 6-1? I don't think I ever put a number on it. I really literally just worry about getting better. All I worry about now is my bye week and getting ready for Nebraska. And to your point earlier, that's kind of the way all of our guys work.
You've got a lot of guys playing really well, but Tommy DeVito, how important is he to where you guys are? Just bringing him in.
Yeah, I think anytime your quarterback plays well, that's a big deal, right? Like, I could tell on film when I first watched Tommy, like, he got some swag to him, and then you talk to him on the phone, and you're like, okay, this kid gets it, right? And then I didn't really know how the players would respond when he got here, right? He naturally gravitated to the wideouts, the pretty boys, and that all. But it was just a little moment 2 weeks ago. I was walking behind Tommy and Pilstrom, walking in the stadium, and they were talking about a call, and I was about 5 yards behind them. They had no idea I was behind them, and it was just really cool to watch. I love watching our players interact. I told the staff the other day I was walking behind Casey Washington, walking with James Cruz. So James Cruz is a true freshman from Chicago. Casey Washington obviously is a double transfer back. I don't know how much they ever spent time together, and I just walked behind them for about 100 yards, and they were just laughing and giggling about something, and I'm like, what brought these two together, right? And it's us. It's Illinois. Jeff Allen did an amazing job yesterday in his captain's talk. It's a really fun time to be here. I've been lobbying for Chase. I've been reaching out to the people I can. I tell this to scouts and to media that grab me. Like, if I was here, in my opinion, with Chase his whole career, like if we came in 3 years ago when he came in here, like I think he would be right in the thick of the Heisman race as we speak. It's kind of been late to the party. He got a little bit of pub last year, and then it's kind of been on the scene. But if there's a better player in college football that has had an effect on his program, I'd like to know who it is. Right? I get it. There's a lot of preseason rankings that players and teams that had a lot of hype before the season, but I reached out to my phone, any contacts I have about how special this young man is.
Last one here. Freddie obviously knew you had a pretty good defense coming in today, but if I told you beforehand you rolled 6 years starting quarterback to 21 passing yards, what would you rate?
Maybe 41, but I do have respect. I think he's a good player, but I thought defensively, the way we, Ryan and the defense staff designs the concepts of our coverages and the pressures, it's really hard for a quarterback and a coordinator, I think, to figure out what we're doing before the snap. And I think all quarterbacks would tell you the more knowledge they have before the ball is snapped, the better they'll play after it. And it's really hard to figure our defense out that way.
Thank you, guys.